Good morning, children. In the previous topic, you learnt about the crop variety improvement, that is increase in the food production. And also you learnt about the food production management. So, under that, you learnt about nutrient management, that is manures, fertilizers, as well as organic farming. So, in today's class, I will be starting with the next subtopic under crop production management. So before that, I would like to tell you about the importance of water. We know that all living organisms require water. Plants are also living organisms where they require water for their growth and development. That is, plants require water for the photosynthesis, that is for the production of food. Not only that, the nutrients present in the soil will be dissolved in water, and in the dissolved form it will be transported to all the parts of the plant body. So therefore, water is required for the plants for proper health, etc. So therefore, the water should be applied to the plants, and this artificial application of water to the plants at regular intervals is called irrigation. Okay. So now what is irrigation? Irrigation is nothing but artificial application of water to plants at regular intervals is called irrigation. So to maintain the moisture in the soil has to should also be watered regularly. So there are various irrigation systems. So we learnt about the traditional irrigation system as well as the modern irrigation system. So again that you have already learnt in your 8th standard. So now let us learn more about the various irrigation systems. So there are many irrigation systems, but we will be learning about wells, canal system as well as river lift system. So coming to the wells, again wells can be of two types, that is dug well as well as tube well. Dug well, you know that there will be a large well where water will be there, and the water can be pumped to the irrigated fields or to the fields by the pump. Next we have the tube wells. Again here a borewell will be bored, that is into the ground, where the groundwater will be taken out and it can be pumped with the help of a pump. So this is about the wells, that is the dug well and the tube well. So next we have the canal system. So canals, nothing but where they will be directly from the reservoirs or the rivers. So from there the canal will branch into further smaller canals where they are going to irrigate the fields. And coming to the last one, river lift system. So this system is used where there is inadequate release of water from the reservoirs. So there, with the help of the pump, directly they lift the water from the rivers. So this is called as river lift system. Okay children, just look at this. This is the irrigation system, that is the dug well. So where there is a well, and from this the water can be taken out with the help of the pump. Next we have the tube well. So this is the tube well. So this is the canal system. So where directly from the reservoirs or the rivers, canals will be constructed through which the water can be flown to the irrigation fields. That is, the canals will further branch into smaller canals and irrigate the fields. So this is the canal system. And this is the river lift system. So where there is inadequate reservoir release, that is inadequate amount of water will be released from the reservoir. So in those areas, this river lift system, so where directly from the rivers the water will be lifted with the help of the pumps to the nearby fields. So this is river lift system, and this is about the irrigation systems. Okay. So now not only the irrigation system, now fresh initiatives have been taken up in the field of agriculture so that water is available for agriculture. So what are those? Those are nothing but watershed management and rainwater harvesting. Rainwater harvesting, you all know children, that is where the rainwater is collected and used for various purposes and also for recharging the groundwater. Then let us know what is watershed management. So it is the study of the relevant characteristics aimed at the sustainable distribution of its resources and the process of creating and implementing plans, programs, etc. So this is watershed management. So as it tells that it is aimed, that is the watershed management, it's a management system which is aimed at the sustainable distribution of water. That means sustainable distribution is what? The present generation also should get water. Not only that, it also should be conserved for the future generation. That is, there should be conservation of water and not the wastage of water. So watershed management aims at the sustainable distribution of its resources, here water, and the process of creating and implementing plans, programs, etc. So for the sustainable distribution, what are the programs or the plans that can be adopted for this for the sustainable distribution of water? So this is nothing but watershed management and rainwater harvesting. So these are the fresh initiatives taken in the field of agriculture so that water is made available for the irrigation. So this is about watershed management and rainwater harvesting. So we learnt about the nutrient management and irrigation under crop production management. So next I will be okay children. So next under crop production management, that is this third subtopic, that is cropping patterns. So different ways of growing crops can also give maximum yield of crops. So that is nothing but cropping patterns. So now under this cropping pattern, we will be learning about mixed cropping, intercropping and crop rotation. So what is this mixed cropping? It is nothing but growing two or more different types of crops simultaneously in the same piece of land is called as mixed cropping. So here you can select, for examples they have given here, that is you can select soya bean and pigeon pea, sorghum and pigeon pea, wheat and chickpea. That is two or more crops will be, the seeds will be mixed and it will be sown in the field so that they can grow. So the selection of the crops can be based on their water requirement, then the nutrient requirement, photo period, etc. Photo period is nothing but the availability of sunlight. So based on this, the mixed cropping or the selection of the crops for mixed cropping can be done. So coming to the next one, it is intercropping. So what is this intercropping? Again, intercropping is nothing but growing two or more different types of crops simultaneously in the same piece of land. So that is in different patterns. That is, suppose if you are selecting soya bean and pigeon pea, so one row will be soya bean and the other row will be pigeon pea. And like that, sorghum one row, or it can be column or row. So like that, in definite rows and patterns it will be grown. So that is nothing but intercropping. So coming to the third one, that is the crop rotation. So crop rotation is nothing but growing two or different crops one after the other in the same piece of land is called as crop rotation. So here for example, crop rotation, one leguminous plant and the other plant, like wheat and peas can be grown one after the other, so that the peas, we know that green peas or groundnut are the leguminous plants, so that they absorb the nitrogen from the atmosphere and fix into the soil, so that next, that is the wheat, if it can be grown, the wheat crops can utilize the nitrogen present in the soil. So based on different nutrient requirements, the crops can be selected for crop rotation. So these are the cropping patterns, that is different ways of growing crops which will yield maximum yield, or which will give us the maximum yield. So this is about cropping pattern. Okay, so this is cropping patterns, that is mixed cropping, where two or more different types of crops are grown at the simultaneously in the same piece of land. So this is mixed cropping. So this is intercropping, where they are grown at the same time simultaneously but in different rows and patterns. So you can see here, so different rows of plants are there. So this is intercropping, and crop rotation I have already told you. Okay, so cropping pattern will not only help us to get maximum yield but also help to control weeds as well as pests, insects, etc. So next I will be starting, so this is about crop production management. So coming to the third aspect, that is the crop protection management. So I will be starting with crop protection management.